Hello everyone, Dan here, and this is Team Deathmatch. And as you will notice from the title screen, it is Jungle, and as you will see in a minute, it is the AK-47 gameplay with extended mags. This gameplay has been stored up on my hard drive for a very long time, and I finally managed to be able to show you guys this with commentary over the top. Now, I have quite a few things to talk about today, and one of them is also quite strange in itself because I'm going to have to sort of use what I'm going to talk about while I'm talking to you. Now, I'm sure you don't have a clue what I'm on about, but it will become clear now. Basically, I'm going to tell you guys the problems I've had in this video and in past videos, which I feel like it would be fun to share. Now, I have a real big problem with talking fast, and you might be thinking that in this video I'm not talking too fast, but that's because I'm making an effort to talk a little slower, because I always do little slip-ups and say funny things, and it's really unprofessional. So that's a big problem that I've been having, and I was going to say occurring then, for example, and then I get really angry with myself, delete the commentary and start all over again and get in a real angry state over that. Now, one other thing I'm going to talk about today is my dream to set up a podcast. Now, as you guys may know, I think I mentioned it in my first commentary, two loves of mine, obviously gaming, Black Ops, and one other thing, metal. I love metal music, and I also love talking. So if I combine those three things, obviously you would get a podcast. Well, not so much obviously, but you could create a podcast with those three things. But I may have quite a few things to talk about, but I think it's pretty obvious that making a podcast on your own isn't going to be easy, and you're going to need friends who are also interested in metal and who are also interested in gaming, who could help you out and make a brilliant podcast with you. So I'm reaching out to the community and asking you guys if you have extensive knowledge in gaming and metal music in particular, and you feel like you have an interesting enough personality, as vain as it would be to say you have an interesting personality. If you think you have an interesting enough personality, please get in contact with me, because I'd love to do a podcast. Hopefully there's some funny people in the community who share the same loves as me who would love to do a podcast. That would be really, really great. One other thing which has just popped into my head actually that I was going to talk about is, I don't know if I mentioned this, but World at War has always been my favourite Call of Duty game, and I jumped on World at War to try and get you guys some gameplay for another commentary. But what I found was hackers in every single lobby I went into, and this was really disappointing for me, because one thing I really don't understand is what the hackers are getting out of hacking. Now, the hack, as you might be aware, that these people are using is one in which you are completely invincible, and no matter what you do, even if you stick a grenade to them, they won't die. So they're literally invincible for the whole game and they'll never die. And another thing is that they are able to send in dogs at the start of the game. Now, I witnessed some of these lobbies and it's absolutely awful. You really can't win, and it's just pointless. You might as well leave straight away. And one other annoying thing is, it says in the corner of the screen who the hack was made by, so it completely mucks up the game, and it's really awful. But despite this terrible thing that's happening to World at War, I do have a tip for you if you want to stop this. Now, a few of my friends have told me this. They say, message the guy who's doing the hack and tell them, can I have the infection hack for 800 Microsoft points? And then hopefully they will leave the game and you can carry on without the hacker there. I think that's a really great tip. Now, I'm just getting into the chopper gunner, and I've improved a bit since last time I used the chopper gunner. I seem to be able to handle it a bit better, but I'm not doing too well with it, as you can see. Little pause there. Right. One thing which I'm really excited about at the moment is, now I'm off in October to go and see my second gig ever. I've always loved music, but I've never had much of a chance to go to gigs because no one in my family or any of my friends, in fact, are interested that much in music or in general metal music. So I've kind of had to drag my dad along to my first concert. Well, concert, I say concert, it's probably classed as a gig. But I'm off to my second gig in October, and it's going to be really exciting for me. I'm off to see While She Sleeps. They're a Sheffield sort of metalcore band, and it's going to be really, really fun and noisy, and my ears will bleed. But I'm going to love that because I've followed this band since before they even had a CD ready to purchase, which should be really great because it's a band that I've seen grow and grow from a band which only had a downloadable demo on their blog to a band who are now headlining a tour around the country. So it's a real proud moment to see a band that you followed for a long time who eventually are getting a break and going really mainstream, which should be really fun. And I've always loved the atmosphere of gigs and Battle of the Bands and any sort of band performance where everyone's going crazy and running around. It should be really great, and they are a really lively band. So thank you guys for listening to me rabbling on. It's been a pleasure.